What's going on, guys? So right here I have a Super Nintendo faceplate for the Nintendo Switch dock. And so notice I said faceplate, it's not a whole dock, you actually have to put it together. But basically you can get it from Amazon for like 15, 16, 17 bucks from a company called Extreme Rate. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check it out. And if you're just a huge Super Nintendo fan, you can also get the replacement case for your Switch and replace that. But in this video, I'm going to unbox this thing, I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to put it together and show you how it looks. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart. It comes in some nice packaging. I think it comes with everything you need. We're going to see. It should come apart pretty easily. It's just got a couple staples. Alright, so I got the top cover off, and in this little plastic bag right here are a couple of screwdrivers and a bunch of screws, which I think you'll need all of those to put this thing together. And then right here is the actual faceplate. And there's the good part. That's the part where you can actually see the Super Nintendo. So it is a soft touch faceplate. So it's, as I said, it's soft to the touch, and it's very matte, not glossy at all. So it looks pretty nice. And I think it'll definitely stand out if you put it on your Switch. So right here is my actual dock. And basically what we're going to be doing is replacing the faceplate, and it's going to look like this. So we have to get this faceplate off and put the new one on. And to do that, as you saw, we have some screws and a couple of screwdrivers. One is a Phillips head, one is a tri-wing. A tri-wing is basically a screwdriver that Nintendo made for their products. It really dates back to, all their products, I think. So as I've noticed, I haven't done this before, but as I've noticed here, there's a bunch of screws back here. So we're gonna go ahead and take all of those off and just see what happens. So I counted 8 screws here, and they all look like they're tri-wing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take them off, and we're gonna come back. All right, so I got all 8 screws off, and one thing to keep in mind is these 4 screws right here are a little bit longer than the other 4 down here, so make sure to keep them separated and just remember where they go. Alright, so now we're going to try to slide this back piece off and see what happens. So, okay, so it looks like the back piece slides off really easily. Just take those 8 screws off, and here is the internal components to it. So you definitely want to be careful here, but it looks like we have to remove a ribbon cable. Alright, so all I actually had to do was lift up this little tab. It was pushed down like that, and I basically lifted it up, popped it up that way, and now it should come out pretty easily. Alright, I'm actually just going to take this board out, and then the ribbon cable should slide off, like so, maybe. Might take a little bit of force. Just make sure to be careful with this ribbon cable, because it can definitely break pretty easily. Oops, and it looks like we got another cable on the back. So this one is just a little, this one should be easy to take off. Alright guys, so we got the circuit board off, got the ribbon cable unplugged, the jumper cable unplugged, and it looks like there are 3 more screws here. Actually, there's more than 3. There's the 3 that are very visible, like this one, this one, this one. And then down in these holes, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. It's kind of hard for you guys to see, but it's basically down in the holes. Just go find them. And all of these screws are Phillips head. Alright, so it was actually 9 total screws. There are kind of 3 hidden over here, 3 hidden over here, and then there were 3 kind of spread across that were very visible. And so now I think we should be able to just pop it off, and yep, we are. So the ribbon cable and the jumper cable kind of slide through those little slots right there. So make sure to make note of that. Alright, so it took me a minute to figure this out, but basically you just pop this off, you basically pull it up, and it pops off pretty easily. And this part comes off as well. And there you are, you're down to the bare faceplate plus this jumper. So you gotta kind of pull it out, I think, of the slot it's in. Yeah, you just gotta wiggle it a little bit and it comes out, and same with this the little light piece right here. Alright, so here we are. If you want to compare them, this is the Super Nintendo faceplate, this is the original faceplate, and if we flip them over, you can tell. And so basically the same thing, so now we're just going to do the reverse. Alright, so I slid the little light cover in. Now we need to slide in the jumper, or the circuit board jumper, into the same little slot. Should fit in nicely. Alright, so there we are, fits in nicely. Make sure to slide it in the correct way so you don't squish the jumper wire. And now we just got to put this little piece on. So it goes up top, you basically just got to stick it onto the faceplate and slide it up, and it should click into place, I believe. So there we are, took a little bit of force, but it's on there now. Just make sure not to break it, obviously. The bottom piece is pretty easy as well. You just slide the clips under this top piece and then push it down until it clips into place. And as you can see, it's nice and sturdy now. So now we just got to put this piece back on. See if I can remember how it went on. I just got to make sure to slide the jumper cable or the ribbon cable back into place, as well as the jumper cable. Alright, so it was a little tedious, but I was able to get those things through there. If you got big fingers, it might be hard to get through, so you might need some tweezers or something, but I got it through not too difficult. It took me about 3 or 4 minutes. Alright, so once you have those through, you're basically just going to slide it into place in line with the posts where the screws screw into. And as you can see, I've got it in line now. So now you just have to put those 9 silver screws back in. Alright, so I got all 9 screws back in. Just be careful. I almost lost a couple screws. They're so small. So now you want to put the circuit board back on, which shouldn't be too hard. Just make sure to pull your jumper and your ribbon cable out of the way. Alright, so now we need to put the circuit board back on. So first you want to make sure you plug the jumper into the back. And just make sure to plug it in the correct way. Alright, so I got the jumper cable plugged in. And now you want to set this thing in place under the clips. And then just kind of push it into place. Be careful with it. And now you want to slide the ribbon cable back into the connector. So I was actually having trouble getting the ribbon cable back in, so I'm going to use some tweezers to hopefully get that back in there safe and sound. Alright guys, so it took me a few minutes, but I finally got the ribbon connector on. Just be careful with it and you'll be able to get it on eventually. I actually found it easier to put the ribbon cable on before I put it under these clips right here. But again, just be careful with it. Alright, so I got it down under the clips now, and I just need to put this top piece back on and put the screws back on. Alright, so there we are guys. Got all 8 screws back on. We can flip it back up, and as you can see, we have a Super Nintendo Switch dock. And like I said before, it is a soft touch and it's matte, so it's not glossy at all. It's easy to see. Definitely pops, especially the purple, and it looks exactly like a Super Nintendo. And let's just take a look around it. So you really can't tell any difference between this and the original Switch dock, other than how the front looks. It fits flush, fits nice, and it's fairly easy to put together. Just for reference, this took me exactly 31 minutes to take completely apart and put together. So not bad, to be honest. So like I said, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check this product out. And thanks for watching guys, and have a great day.